Hey guys, and welcome to the second episode of Minecraft Plugin Coding 101 with Gyllie. In this episode we are going to start our own first Minecraft project. So, to start our first Minecraft project I'll have to learn you three things. The first thing will be is how to tell Eclipse we are using the bucket API. Second thing is I'll explain you how and why you need a plugin.yml folder, file in your plugin. And then I'll explain you how to make your own first two commands. So to start, of course, we need to start our Eclipse. Just double click it again, select the workspace we set up in the first episode, press OK. Wait till it loaded all the things it needs. And there we go, that's our Eclipse. So as you can see, you get back to the screen we ended off like in the last episode. I removed like all the variables, of course, because they were like not completely made well. So yeah, I just still have like everything here. So as you can see, the package and the class file we made. So first, of course, we need to tell Eclipse we are using the bucket API, because we will be calling functions of bucket, and if we don't tell Eclipse we're using it, they will give us a lot of errors. So to add the bucket API or bucket build path, you just go to your Java project folder, so the top thing, you right click it, it will give you this menu, go to build path and configure build path. Then you will get this screen. In this screen, go to Java build path and click libraries. Here in libraries, you need to click on add external jars. You go to the place where you saved your server. It's the easiest way to like get the bucket API, because you're sure you're using the same bucket API as the server you are running to test it on. So you select the spigot.server jar file, press open, click up OK, and you'll see it will add this reference libraries folder. If you open it, you'll see it has the spigot.server jar in it, and if you click again, you will see, let's make it a little bigger for now, you will see all the packages in the spigot.server jar file. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot in it, a lot of packages you could be using, but like the main ones will be here, the craft bucket. Well, actually the org.bucket packages, that are the packages we will be using the most. For example, if we just open org.bucket, you can see all the class files in there. So like all the achievement stuff, the ban lists, all the things we will need. So now our Eclipse knows we can be using these packages or code from this server jar file. If, for example, later on you want to use like other plugins that support being integrated, you will also need to add them like this. So for example, if you want to use some essentials or fall stuff, you will have to like import them at the same way as we did with this jar file. Now, the second part of the video is we need a plugin.yml file. Why do we need a plugin.yml file? Is once the server starts, it will go in the plugins folder to see what jar files are in the plugin folder. But it will find your jar file if you don't make the plugin.yml folder, but it doesn't know what to do with it. So that's why you need the plugin.yml file. So to make the plugin.yml file, just right click the project again, select new, go back and select file. Then file name is just plugin.yml. Don't fail typing, Gyllie. Like this, plugin.yml, click finish and it will open the file for you. Let's close this again. So in this plugin.yml file you need to set a few settings. Some are required, some aren't required. But the first thing of course you need to do is give it a name. So for our plugin, for the tutorial, we'll just call it YouTube tutorial. Best thing is to not use any spaces in the name, because that might be looking weird otherwise afterwards when you're like on the server. And of course this file is required. I mean setting, not the file. Then second setting is the version of your plugin. Of course you can start with 0.0.1. You can also do 0.0.0.1. It's not that much of a sense, but it is required though. Next thing is description. This one isn't required. You can edit, so people using your plugin can check the description. So for example, we'll just do our YouTube tutorial. Oh my god, plugin. Gyllie's is failing at typing so much today. Next thing we can set is the author, so that can just be you. So that's also not required. You can also do, you can also set the website or multiple authors or stuff. I'll link you, I'll place a link in the description where there is every single setting you can do in this Plugin.yml file explained. But for now, the main things you need is the name, the version, and the next setting, which is main. There you will set what you will tell the Bukkit server afterwards where it needs to start your plugin. So for our plugin, it will be this class. So how you do it is you just type the package name first. Look out because this is case sensitive. So package name and then dot file name. So now the plugin knows if I'm starting this plugin, I need to go to this .java file or this class file, and there will be like the code to tell me what I need to do to start or stop the plugin. And then of course you need to declare all the commands. Why do you need to declare the commands in here? Because when a player does a command, Bukkit will go through a list of all the commands it knows to say the player if the commands exist, yes or no. So Bukkit gets all the commands from the plugin.yml file. Now to set a command, you just do commands double points and press enter. Then you make 2 spaces and then you type the command name. So for this tutorial we will, as I said, make 2 commands. The first one will be just a message, so we'll just call it command message. Again, just the command name. Best thing is to keep it lowercase. Press double point, enter, and again 2 extra spaces. So in the meantime there's 4 spaces here. Then you need to say all the settings for the command. So the first setting is description. Description is like the message you'll see when you do /help in game. It will show you first the command and then the description. So we'll just say it's YouTube tutorial message command, like this. Then the second setting is aliases, like this. That is used if, for example, you have a really long command. You can use aliases. So for example, for this one it could be message. And then of course to finish off you can set the permissions, but that one we will do for the next command, which will be a heal command. So we'll just do it like this: description YouTube, oh my god, YouTube tutorial. Oh wow, I'm failing so badly. No, not message command, heal command, like this. Again, we can do an alias, for example h, and then permission. We will be doing tutorial.heal. So this is an example of a plugin.yml file. Again, you can set a few more settings. I'll place a link in the description where there is a good wiki page of Bukkit where you can see all the settings you can set in here. But this is like good enough for a plugin called YouTube tutorial version 001 with that class file and those two commands. When you're done, just press the close button, of course save the settings, and there we go. Now the coding part. Of course, again, we now have our main class, but we still have to tell it is like a bucket or a spigot plugin. So to tell that, the first thing you need to do is, after like this code will be auto generated. Some names might be different, of course, but just go to this public class and then your class name line, place a space of the class name and say extends Java plugin. Look out, it is case sensitive. Every code in here is case sensitive. So you will see it will give you an error. Why is it giving you an error? Because it doesn't know what Java plugin is. Like the normal Java code doesn't know what Java plugin is. But as you can see, if you move over it, it will tell you it needs to import Java plugin from the org.bucket.plugin.java package. So you can just click here to import it, or you can go and use the Control Shift and O, and you'll see, oh whoops, no, not Shift O, I mean Control, nope, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I was, wow, such a failure. No, it's Control Shift and O, and then you'll see it will automatically import the package for you. Now, if for example it finds like multiple places it can import, it will give you a message and then you need to select the correct one. So now the class knows it will be a Java plugin for Bucket. But Bucket needs at least two things in this main class. The first thing is the code it needs to do on when the plugin is enabled. So to do this, go into your class sections and type public void on enable, like this, just empty brackets and the special brackets at the end. I don't know the correct English word for it, I'm sorry guys, but yeah. Just finish with this, press enter, and it will automatically place the closing one as well. And also you need public void on disable, like this. So this way your plugin will start when it's starting the server. But of course you can say the plugin what it needs to do when it's getting the plugin started. So for example, if you start the plugin and you want the plugin to say in the console that it is started, you can use a few things. So first, go above your on enable line and type public plugin description file PDF file equals this.get description. As you can see, it will sometimes, if you like typing, it will give you some things it knows it can use. So you can just, for example, we need the .get description function, so just double click it and it will automatically fill it for you. Again, we need to import it. You can do it by clicking here, or you can do it by clicking Control Shift and O. There we go. So this plugin description file will just store some information about your plugin. So if we now go in our onEnable function, we can do get logger. Oh, only 2 G's. Get logger will tell you the plugin. It will like say something in the console. Then it's just an information message. So we do .info, and then you will see it says string message. So here we can place a message. So what we can do is we can get the PDF file and get full name. So it will get like the complete plugin name and add a plus sign and say has been enabled. So for example, once the plugin starts, it will like say this plugin is now enabled. If we copy paste this into the on-disable section, and we can just change this enable to disable. Now you can also add more information from the PDF file. So let's, for example, add the version number. So PDF file get a version. There you go. So now it will say when the plugin is enabled, it will say YouTube tutorial, then the version, and then has been enabled. So there we go. Okay, so now we have these two things. We can see if our plugin will load already. So to export, you need to right-click this Java project folder, click on export, and then you can export. But as we installed 1.8 Java version in the first video, you need to be careful with some things, because most Minecraft servers at the moment still run on 1.7 Java version. And if you're going to export the plugin as it is set up now, it won't work because it's using a different Java version. So to fix that, right-click your project and click buildpath and configure buildpath again, and go to Java compiler. As you can see, the settings here are automatically set to 1.8 because we are using Java 1.8. So to ignore that and use 1.7, just uncheck this section and select 1.7 here. As you can see, everything changes now to 1.7, and it will just give you a warning because you're using an old version, but you can ignore it. Just press OK, press yes, and it will fix it for you. You can go and check it if you want to. Open it again. Java compiler using 1.7. Okay, so now we can do export. Just select Java and jar file. Press next. You make sure everything in your file, in your project is selected. If it isn't, you can select it all. And then select the export destination. We'll just automatically put it in our tutorial server in the plugins file, and we call it tutorial.jar. Click up OK. It will completely fill in the jar, the URL. Click finish. Then it will say, okay, your main class file is not saved. You want to save it. Okay, click save. It will save, and there we go. So now if we go to our folder, go to plugins, you will see tutorial.jar is implemented. So let's see if it starts. We just start the server. Wait till the server is started. Let it load everything. It's creating the world. There we go. And then we scroll up a little bit to where it loads the plugin. Need to search a little bit. Here you go. YouTube tutorial loading YouTube version 001. Then we need to see where it's set that it's loaded. Let's make it a little bit bigger so I can see. Oh, there we go. Enabling YouTube tutorial version 001, and then YouTube tutorial version 001 has been disabled. But yeah, as you can see, sometimes it is already telling you the version, so we don't really need to edit because we used full name. But yeah, as you can see, you can just edit. So we'll just go back to the code and remove this part. As we are using the full name, it will just automatically fill in the version as well. So if we now do stop the server, you can see YouTube tutorial version 001 has been disabled. So that's working. We know our plugin is starting now. So the commands we were going to make. To make a command, you need to add the next statement. So you just need to completely copy this part. So it's public boolean on command, and then you will need a few variables. The first thing is command sender. That's who sent the command. Then of course the command itself, the command label, and the arguments, the user set. For example, if like you need a player also setting the commands, you will, for example, use /heal GyllieGyllie. Then the args will be GyllieGyllie. So again, you need to import two things. So Control Shift and O, and here you can see it has like two possible imports. For this one, we need the command because this is the command block, but we need this command, and there we go. It will give you an error because it's a boolean, so it needs to get a variable. So just at the bottom, do return false. Now, why is it a boolean? Because the plugin needs to know if our plugin handled the command. So if you do /return true, it will just do like if it executes the command. If you do /return false, the plugin will, the server will continue searching for another plugin doing it. And if it can't find any plugin returning true, it will say this command does not exist. So now we have this, we can make our first command. So to make our first command, we need to check what the command is. So it's if, open the brackets, cmd.getName dot equals ignore case. So for example, this will make sure if the player by accident types the command in all capitals, it will still run it. So equals ignore case, and then our first command was message like this, equals true, and then open, oh that was the wrong button, open the section. So now we have our first command. Can use it to explain you two new things. As you said here, you need to also to check who is the sender. Why do you need to check it? Because you can send a command as a player, but you can also send a command as the console. Now to check who sent the command, you just do if sender instance of player, then it will be the player that sent the command. Of course, we need to import it again, Control Shift O, and there we go. Then we can also do else if, open the brackets, where are they? There. If sender instance of console, you will do a different thing. Import it again, check what is wrong. Console sender, it's not console. This should work. Let's see why it's not working. Console command sender, that's what we need. So there you go. So if we now we know who sent the command, we can like first of all say a message to a player. So to get the player, we just do player equals if no, we need to cast it to a player, event.get send. No, we can do just to send like this. Oh, not like this. So now we have the player. It will give you a warning. It's not okay. So we'll just use the @suppress warning. Oh, we can just remove it because we will be using it afterwards. It's just giving a message, it's not used. So now we get the player, we can send the player a message. So player.send message. I will just say the message, hey user. We'll do hey player, so we can afterwards check that it was a player. You can also, of course, change the color by doing chat color and then a dot sign, and then you can see what all the command colors are you can use. So for example, let's just use gold. There we go. So now we have our command that if a player says /message, it will say hey player. As you can see, it also import org.bucket.chat color. Make sure you choose that chat color and not the other one, because you can also select a second one. Then if it is the console, we'll just do the same as we did here with the get logger. So we do get logger.info and say the message hey console. So there we go. Now we can go and test it. So we're exported again. Next, finish. Okay, yes. Start the server again. In the meantime, also let's start Minecraft so we can join really quick to see if it is working as a player as well. Start Minecraft. Okay, so the server started. If you do message here, you don't need to use the slash in the console normally. So just press message, and it's, as you can see, it says hey console. So we know it's working for our console. Let's just join the server as well. Just localhost, as I said in the first video. There we go. And if you do slash message here, it will say hey player. So now we know our first command is working. So let's go back to the code and let's make the second command. So second command we can do just like this: else if cmd.getName equals ignore case, and it was heal equals true, but we also said it could have been just age, so we also need to do or statement cmd.getName equals ignore case age equals true. The plugin will know also if it like uses the aliases, it will need to run this command. So to heal the player, to heal yourself, we don't need any args. So we can say if sender instance of player, because the command the console can't heal himself. We need to check if the args is 0. So if args.length equals to 0, the player didn't say any other player. We just need to set the player's health to full health. So we get the player first again. Player equals player sender. There we go. Now we got the player. And then here we do player.set health to 20, because the max health of a player is 20. And we'll say a message as well. Send message. We'll take green this time. Chat color.green plus you healed yourself. Oh, this. So this will heal a different player. No, heal yourself. Now, if we want to heal another player, we will need an argument set. So if args.length equals 1, we will need to get a different player. So to get that player, we'll need to get a new player variable. So player target equals player.getServer dot get player, and then the player's name, which will be set in the args 0, because 0 is also a number in Java, so it starts with 0 and not with 1. So now we have the target player. We can set the target's player to 20 as well, so set 20. We can send the target a message as well, so target send message chat color.green plus you have been healed by, and then we will say the player's name who healed him in a different color, so chat color.gold plus player.getName. So this way, if you, for example, heal another player, the other player will get a message you have been healed by, and then your in-game name. And then for yourself, you can say a message to yourself, send message chat color.green you have healed player, and then of course we can take chat color gold again, and then target.getName, like this. So this way, if you like set an argument, it will get the second player. So if we export this, finish. Okay, yes, I override it. Do reload in the command. You can see it loaded again. So if we now try to get some damage, don't know, let's see, difficulty hard, so we can take damage easily. Let's just jump down, take some fall damage. There we go. Let's take some more fall damage. There we go. And if you do /heal now, you'll see you healed yourself and our health was brought back to full health. So if we now want to heal another player, you will see we actually forgot to check if the player does exist. So if we now say just Gyllie as a player, you will see it will take my name, because it's taking a player that looks like it. But if we do /heal lol, it will give you an error. As you can see in here, it gives you a big error in the console as well. And if you check well, you can see it says null pointer exception, because it didn't got a player with the name lol. So therefore we need to check in the code first if that player exists. So after we checked if the args were 1, we'll just add a new statement. Let's copy this really quick, not like till there. We'll have to say if this isn't null, run all this code, and then at the end of the code add the closing bracket. If you want, move it to the side again so you can easily see where this if statement was. So now we will be checking if the player does exist. If the player doesn't exist, we'll just say the command runner that the player doesn't exist. So we do /method chat color.red plus this player doesn't exist. So now we have this setup. We won't get the error anymore. So next, finish. Okay, yes. Do a reload again. There we go. And if you just run the same command, you'll see now it says this player doesn't exist and it doesn't give any errors. So now we can run this command as a player, but if you do it here, heal Gyllie, you will see it does nothing. It doesn't even give you like feedback, because it knows the command exists, because we stated it here, but it only does something when the player exists. So therefore we'll need to like say else if sender instance of console command sender. We'll just copy this code, because the console can't heal himself, so we'll just copy this. So that means this test means the console can only heal other players that are in the server. We'll just do I think bucket.getServer, import bucket. There we go. So we can also do it like that if you just like run it as the console. So bucket.getServer, you have been healed by, and then of course we'll say console, and then of course it's not get message but like get logger.info, and of course remove the colors, because like in the most consoles don't support color names, so we'll just do it like this. And then here say get logger, remove the send message as well, and then say warning, because it's a mistake, so you will see it's not something good. Also we checked for like args lengths with 0 and 1. You can also like at the end say else if it's like differently, and then send the message to a player saying that is an incorrect usage. So we'll just do it like this, paste it in, and say a short message saying incorrect usage, incorrect usage. There we go. And then here we can copy this and again say else warning, and change it to incorrect usage. There we go. And of course we need to like return true after every command. We forgot to do it. It doesn't give like much errors, but it can be giving some problems in the future. So I think this is where, yes, this is where it changes. So return true. There we go. So now we have set up our full commands. Let's export it again. Do the final test. Reload. There we go. So now if we do heal lol tester, like you will see, it gives incorrect usage. So we still know that it's all working. And now if we do heal GyllieGyllie in here, you will see you have healed player GyllieGyllie, and in game you can see it set by console. If we do /heal here, it says incorrect usage. If we do heal test, it will say that player doesn't exist. As you can see, I didn't remove the chat color here, and then it will give you like this NC signs. So that's like the color code it uses. So if you're like not using a colored console, it will just give it like this. So we can remove it really quick, like this, and then like this. So this will just work fine. Of course, as I told you in the section where we've made the plugin.yml file, if you do /help, you'll see our YouTube tutorial plugin is loaded. If you do /help YouTube tutorial, what did I type of tutorial, you can see there are our messages and of course the descriptions we set. Now we didn't do the permissions. Of course the console always have all permissions, but if a player does the command, we still need to check the permissions. So that's done by doing if player.has permission, and then we can quickly go and sneak back and get the tutorial heal, paste it in like this, and then say it's true. Do all this code like this, move it to the side, and then we can again say else player.send message chat color.red, you don't have permission. So like this, it will check if the player has the permission. We'll just do reload really quick. Oh, reload. Let's de-op myself really quick. So now I don't have any permissions to do it. So if I do /heal now, I'm sorry, but you don't have the permissions. So that is like, of course, because we set it in the plugin.yml file, it needs the permission. But for example, if you forget to do it here, but you still do it like here, it will give you this message. So if I op myself again now, op, no, not op GyllieGyllie, there you go. I'm opt, just do heal, there you go, you healed yourself. So also the alias should work, so if you do /h, it will say you healed yourself. So this is it for this episode, guys. We just made some small commands, but yeah, now you know how you can like make a plugin start and stop and do code you need for it, and you know how to make some small commands. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like. If you have some comments or questions, feel free to say it in the reactions down below, and see you all in the third episode. Bye guys. Down below, and see you all in the third episode. Bye guys.